If you're planning a trip to Italy, then this video is for you. I just went 2 weeks ago and I'm going to be sharing with you all of the things that you absolutely need to take based on personal experience. Some of the things I knew ahead of time and other things I actually didn't have with me and I just learned from trial and error, so I'm sharing the wealth. I'm going to have every section timestamped, so feel free to skip forward, and I'll have the links for everything in the description box. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Clarissa Shaw. I'm a dentist living in Southern California, and for those of you guys returning, hi. Oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. I have not been consistent with YouTube because I'm coming to you today from my new home. So my husband and I purchased a home. We moved, it was so fast. Escrow and closing and everything was a month, which is super quick. Then we had 2.5 weeks to move in, and we left for vacation to Italy for 2 weeks for our 1-year anniversary / honeymoon. But I just did not have a lot of time to be editing the YouTube videos and filming, but don't worry, I am back. Everything is settled, and for the most part, the home I think is like 85% done. So I'm really excited to get back to a normal routine. Okay, let's jump into the things that you need for Italy. So the number one thing I would recommend that I myself didn't know and didn't take was mosquito repellent, especially if you're going to Italy in the summer. It is infested with mosquitoes. And I don't know why none of the Italy videos I ever watched talked about this. No one ever said make sure that you pack mosquito repellent. Everyone was bit. I had bites. Mosquitoes usually love me, so it was really not fair. I don't even have like a fighting chance, but even my husband, who normally doesn't get bit, he had bites. And everywhere you're walking around, you see people with mosquito bites. It was even this one lady. Oh, I felt so bad for her. She had a really bad reaction to one of the mosquito bites on her arm. And the bite, I kid you not, it was this big. It was huge, a huge red welt. And her partner that she was with had a bunch of bites too. So mosquitoes are a thing. They are everywhere. They are ruthless. And you absolutely need to take mosquito repellent if you do not want to get bit. A few years ago, the Zika virus came out, and at that time I had a pre-planned trip to Costa Rica. I was super scared of contracting Zika virus because it can have really detrimental effects to any baby if you get pregnant in the future while the virus is still active in your body. So I purchased this special mosquito repellent. It's actually a cream, so it's not a spray, it's a cream, and I would put it on right after the shower, and I got not one mosquito bite. It also works for other insects as well, so I'm going to link that one. I definitely recommend that. There's also some clothing that has mosquito repellent built into it, which I think is really fascinating. They have different things like blankets, shawls, things of that nature. And when you're traveling in Italy, it's always advised to have a shawl, because if you go into a church or some area that does not allow you to have shoulders exposed, you do want to cover up. And I had a shawl with me at night as well. The weather was perfect and beautiful, but I run cold, so I always took a little wrap just in case. It would have been perfect. That's literally the perfect situation and occasion to have one of those shawls that has mosquito repellent built in. You take it with you to dinner and you avoid the bugs. So similarly, on the topic of mosquitoes, another thing that you want to take with you is citronella spray and citronella oil. Another thing that they don't tell you is that in Italy, it is infested with wasps. It is wasp season. I'm not talking honeybee, I'm talking wasp, and they really like bacon. Apparently they like ham. So prosciutto is huge in Italy. If you get a pizza with prosciutto and you're eating outside, it's literally going to be wasp central. Any food, anything, if you're around them, the wasps start coming. We would be like battling it with the wasps, trying not to get stung, because a wasp can sting you several times without dying, fortunately. Not like the bees that can only sting you once. Come on. Who wants a wasp sting? Those things are really painful, and especially when you're on vacation. And we would look to the table next to us. They would be battling it out with the wasps. There were just so many of them. It's a known thing that there are a lot of wasps in that area at that time of year. So one thing that we did was we went to the pharmacy and they actually sold us some citronella spray. We were able to spray it on ourselves, and sometimes when the wasp would be in the area, I'd spray it in the air and they would go away. But the problem is that when your food comes, you don't want to be spraying the citronella on your food. So one thing that we saw some people at the table next to us towards the end of the the trip, they had citronella oil, and whenever they would sit down to eat, they would get that oil and they would dab it all along the table, like the tablecloth of the table, and that citronella is a natural repellent for the wasps. Some fancy restaurants you go to, like this one restaurant we went to, had an air diffuser with citronella, and that would totally repel the wasps. But most places are not going to have that, and you will encounter that. So definitely stock up with the citronella. Moving on to the next thing. There's so many videos that talk about pickpockets in Italy. My mom her algorithm changed, and it was showing her all of these videos of people calling out the pickpockets and recording them, and things getting stolen. When we went, thankfully, I didn't experience any of that. And when I was in France a few years ago, I also did not experience any of that. But I do know people who it has happened to firsthand. And I think the number one thing to try to avoid being pickpocketed is to just be aware and come off to the public that you are very aware and you're not going to let yourself get taken for a ride. So a couple of ways that you can do that is by having a crossbody bag. So I took a few different purses. I didn't take any designer purses with me on this trip because it was my first time visiting the country and I didn't really know what the safety was going to be like. As it is, I don't travel with any type of expensive jewelry. I don't travel with my engagement ring. I know that some people buy replicas and take them with them on vacation, but in my opinion, that almost kind of defeats the purpose, because if someone's trying to rob you, they don't know if that ring is real or fake, and I personally just don't want to attract any attention to myself for someone wants to mug me. So I always just travel with simple bands unless I know that it's safe and I've been there before, or unless I'm going like to a destination where I'm not going to be leaving the resort. I'm only going to be at the resort and I know that they have security and they monitor who comes in and out. So in that case, I would feel comfortable taking something that's a little more expensive. That being said, all of the areas that we went to I felt were incredibly safe. There were a lot of women with designer handbags and there were so many tourists. It was mainly tourists. It was jam-packed, like you're going to Disneyland. The type of bag that I took was something like this. This is not the exact one that I took, but it was one that had a snap closure and it actually had a chain that was crossbody. So what I would do is I'd have my bag crossbody and then I have my hand on it right in front of me as I'm walking through the crowds. No one's getting in my bag. My hand is right there. And there were so many women who were doing the same thing. It's recommended that you take a crossbody bag and that you hold it in front of you so you can see it at all times. Another thing that I did take was this little crossbody backpack. And I really like that it has two compartments, one in the back and one in the front. So when I was traveling on the train, that's really when I use this the most. You have to travel on the train in between cities if you're going to be visiting multiple cities in Italy. And so I would have it like this right in front of me, and I'd have my passport in the back pocket safely tucked away, and then if I needed to get anything out of the front pocket, this was for like miscellaneous stuff like a chapstick, or you could put your phone there, but this way you're not opening the pocket that has your passports every single time you need to get something out of your bag. I really liked having a bag like this. I thought it was incredibly functional and it made me feel safe. I had my hands with my luggage, I had a backpack on, but then I had my little crossbody right here, right in front of me, and I knew where it was at all times, and I knew where my passport was at all times. My husband took a fanny pack. There were a lot of gentlemen there with their fanny packs, and they wore it in that really modern style where you have it crossbody like this and right in front of you. So it's really easy access to get your stuff, and it's also right in front of you. So when you're sardine packed in the Vatican Museum, you can literally just have your hand over your chest like this, over your bag, and you know that nobody is going to be getting in there. So for gentlemen, I definitely recommend either a satchel, a side satchel that you can have your hand on, or a fanny pack that you can have in the front on your chest that you're going to be holding. For women, a crossbody bag or a little crossbody backpack, such as the one I showed you. It's even better if you can get some that can lock. All right, so another thing on the topic of money, there is a special hidden money pouch that we took. It's kind of like a little belt, and it's really skinny. It's very thin material, and it's perfect for carrying like any of your large bills. This can tuck into, if you're a gentleman, it can tuck into your pants, and it's meant to be worn underneath your shirt. So we took this. I bought two. I bought one for myself and one for my husband. I ended up not using mine, but you definitely could wear it underneath your dresses if you wanted to keep some stuff safe. My husband was the one who mainly used it, and he kept, like I said, any large bills that he didn't want to have in his fanny pack. The one that we got was from Amazon. One thing that I will say is his did start to rip by the end of the trip, so it's not the most well made, but it definitely got the job done, and he did feel really safe. Like, they're not going to go under your shirt to pickpocket you when your shirt is down. So it's a really awesome additional layer of security. That brings me on to my next essential gadget. This was an impulse purchase from Amazon, and I got so much use out of it. I was so happy. So this is a fingerprint lock. So it's cute and compact. It's electronic. It's got a charging port on the bottom so you can recharge the battery, and it doesn't have a combination, so you don't have to spend time there fussing to try to get the combination open. If you need immediate access to something, it works with your fingerprint just like that, and you can unlock your bag. So I loved this because I had this on my backpack when we were traveling through the important parts like the train and the airport. That's one thing that I will say is when you are doing travel and you've got your luggage, you need to make sure that every single piece of luggage has a lock on it. You will leave it on the train or check it into the airport, and when you're walking, you don't want anybody behind you snooping around. And so for my backpack, I did have this lock, and it made it really easy for me to get things in and out of the backpack that I may need. For example, like if you're carrying your laptop or something and you're waiting, you've got this fingerprint lock. So this I adored. You could use something like this like for your bags. Another thing that I've seen people do if they don't have locks is they'll get a pack of zip ties, and they will zip tie the bags shut so they know nobody is zipping them open. One thing though, if the bag is left alone, the zip tie can be very easily cut, and it's also kind of a pain in the booty that you have to cut the zip tie every single time and waste the zip tie when you want to open your bag. So I just feel like in general, investing in some locks, this is something you can use for every single one of your vacations in the future. Another thing that I used, and I think would be perfect if you did not want to be carrying around a purse, was this cell phone case with a strap. How cute is this? It looks like a little Chanel. It's got the gold strap with the leather band running through the middle. And this little case actually has a flap top open, and it's got a little card holder right here, so you can put a little bit of money and your cards. I carried my ID in here and my debit card, and then I had my phone in here, so it's perfect. And what I liked about this, and it looks like a little purse, is when it's hanging on your outfit, say I'm wearing it like that, it's hanging on the side, but it still looks really aesthetic. It looks like a cute little purse. And you can have your stuff right there. So this is something that sometimes I would take if we were leaving our Airbnb for a quick gelato or a quick dinner and I didn't want to carry my purse or anything like that. I would just take my phone in this phone case, and I'd still have, you know, like my ID and a little bit of money just in case. But it was a great way to stay hands-free. Another thing that I love about this is when you are at the sites, at the attractions, you are going to be taking pictures, and then you walk and you're like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Picture, picture, walk, walk, walk. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Picture, picture. So either you can choose to put your phone in and out of your bag, or you can just have it hanging on a cute little strap like this. So when you're not using it, it's down to your side. And then when you want to take a picture, boop, and then back down. So it's really, really functional and aesthetic, which, to be honest, is kind of hard to come by. Okay, so this next thing is if you are staying at an Airbnb, this is really awesome. This is an alarm, essentially. And this is not connected to police dispatch or anything like that. But what this is a battery-operated alarm, and you wedge this underneath your door. You put it right in front of your door. So if somebody is trying to open the door and break in at night, when it hits this, it makes a huge alarm sound. It sounds the alarm, and you can't stop it until you get up and turn off. So at least if someone's trying to break in it will alert you and it'll get your ass up so that you can do something about it, and it will likely startle whoever the intruder is. This thing is so loud. I put the batteries in, I tried to test it, and I swear I almost popped my eardrum. So this definitely works. This came in a pack of 2, which is nice, like if you have a front door and a back door. I took both of them. I did load them with batteries, but we ended up only using one, and only on the time we were staying at our Airbnb. Okay, so we're down to the last few things. I'm gonna try to go really fast and wrap it up. These are not Italy specific, but these are just things that I really like to travel with that I wanted to share with you. So one thing is a laundry bag, a foldable laundry bag. This thing gets really tiny and small, but it opens up into a bag so you can get all your dirty clothes, you put them in here, you pack it back in your suitcase, and when you come home, you don't have to sift through your stuff to see what's clean and what's dirty. You just get your dirty clothes from the dirty laundry bag and you put it in the wash. So that's awesome. Another thing, especially for Italy, if you have any type of dairy problem, lactose intolerance, you get gas, diarrhea, you want to make sure that you're taking dairy pills. My husband and I are both lactose intolerant, not 100%, but like we definitely have sensitivity to it. And we took dairy pills. We took these with every single meal that we were having cheese with, and I was able to enjoy all of the pizza and cappuccinos every single morning. Oh my god, I came back in love with cappuccinos, and I'm normally not a milk drinker, and I always say to drink through a straw because I'm a dentist, you know, I don't want my teeth to get stained, but I'm screwed. I love cappuccinos, and I love the foamy milk like hitting your lip when you drink it. So we'll see what I do about that. Maybe a weekend pleasure. Okay, so another thing that I would recommend as well if you're staying at an Airbnb is to take a mini detergent. This is Gain right here. Oh, this is a fabric softener, but I have the mini detergent, same size. You can get it from the 99-cent store or the Dollar Tree. And if you're, like I said, if you're staying at an Airbnb and they have a washing machine, I definitely recommend taking that so you can wash some of your clothes. We intentionally packed so that we would rewear some of the travel outfits in between travel outfits again, and our socks again, and our Airbnb host canceled our second Airbnb last minute. We ended up not having a washing machine, so we ended up not using the soap. And guess what? We had to rewear our dirty clothes, and by the end of the trip, my husband was like running out of underwear. So I definitely recommend if you're going for 2 weeks, you want to take some soap, even if you have to fill up the bathtub and, you know, wash some undies in the bathtub or whatever to have, you know, clean stuff if you haven't packed enough. I will wash my clothes in the bathtub at the hotel before I reuse a dirty pair of undies that I've been walking around all day in. Just saying. You decide. Also on the topic of cleanliness, booty wipes, hand sanitizer, those kind of go without saying. You're touching a lot of stuff, doorknobs, you know, all that. When you sit down and eat, you definitely want to make sure that you're clean. And the very last thing is a luggage weight to weigh your luggage. I travel with this all the time because I am a chronic overpacker and my suitcase is always borderline. So I always have to measure it to make sure that it's underneath the 50-pound limit. I was the only one that took this with me to one of my friend's bachelorettes last year, and everybody was asking if they could borrow it. So they're like 10 bucks, guys. Seriously, one of the best investments. I use it every single time I check in a bag. Alrighty, and those are my must-take recommendations for Italy. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm gonna have everything linked in my Amazon storefront and in the description box below so you can see where I got all of the things that I recommended. If you have any questions at all for me, please feel free to leave me a comment. I do get back to all of my comments. Maybe not exactly like on the day of, but I do get back to all of my comments. And thank you guys again for watching. I miss you guys so much, and I have a lot of really awesome videos to show you coming up soon, including a house tour of this place. It's been really difficult trying to film everything, but we finally have things like almost in order. So look out for that one next.